Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and I want to break down our relationship that we have. I'm a guy who at one point I'm sure was obsessed with hair loss, and then I got to the point where I realized I don't even care anymore, and then I ended up still having this much hair at 36, so it's kind of a weird, that's my story. But ultimately, our relationship works like this. You're not there yet. You're still kind of sorting all this out on your hair loss journey. You're trying to get to the point where you can be like me and think, I don't care if I lose all my hair tomorrow. My life will be just as good, and I'll be just as much as a confident person, and people will value me just as much as they already do. I want to help you get there because I've got there, but it took a lot of sorting out. It took a lot of, even me making these videos to get me to that gold star level where I feel that I am now. Here's what I want to address. I get comments from time to time from guys saying, you know what, you would look good with a shaved head, but Nick, I wouldn't. My forehead's too tall, or my head's misshapen, or it's lumpy, I've got a scar. They'll give me these reasons why if they shaved their head, they wouldn't look as good. And I think most of those people, they still would look good. I mean, it'd be one thing, let's say that you had to have surgery, and there's a huge scar that just encompasses your head, or maybe you were in a car accident, and there's just a huge, undeniable scar. That's one thing. But a scar that you got from playing football or whatever it is, or the fact that, I think I have a tall forehead, and most people would agree, and I think that's a good thing, actually. I think a tall forehead is an attractive trait in male and females. That's what I believe. But you could say, but Nick, I have a taller forehead than you. Here's what I say to all of that. All these, and again, unless you've got some undeniably large scar on your head, or just something truly, truly extreme that people would notice with or without hair, that's what I'm getting. I think for most people, maybe you don't have as good of a head as I have to shave it off or buzz it off. Maybe you don't. My response, buzz it off anyway. Because here's what it's not about. It's not about the aesthetics of you shaving your head and it looking better. I think a lot of people assume that. That's not what it's about. Remember that video I made talking about how girls love bad boys, and if you shave off your hair and said, forget this, I don't need hair to be a confident man, girls love that. It's a sign of confidence that only a man who shaves off his hair can pull off. It's about psychology. It's more about psychology than it is aesthetics. It is, I'm telling you. It sends a message when you shave off your hair. It sends a message that you're brave, that you're braver than all the other men who couldn't be okay with shaving off their hair, And so that's the signal you're sending. It's not about people judging you and thinking, oh, his head's kind of lumpy, he doesn't have the perfect head for it. Doesn't matter. The fact that you do it is what sends that message. Forget about looking good as if you're a girl. Girls have to worry about that. They have to wear makeup. They have to have their hair a certain way. They have to have cute shoes and all that stuff. We're guys, we don't have to do any of that. And that's part of what makes us attractive, is that we're the opposite concept of that. So how much more of attractive is it? This is a guy who, just like Right Said Fred in that song, I'm too sexy for my hair. I'm too sexy for my hair. That's really what this comes down to, is that song from 1991, Right Said Fred. What if you're just too sexy for your hair? You don't even need it. You don't have to spend time thinking about it other than shaving it or buzzing it off. That's the thing that I think people find most attractive about a man who shaves off his hair, or at least buzzes it down to, like, say, a 2 or shorter. That's the real thing that makes that attractive. It's not about how it actually looks. It's about the message and the concept that it sends out. This guy, he doesn't care about his hair. He's got better things to worry about than that. And they're not about him being anxious about himself. He's figured out who he is. He's moved on with his life. He's moved on without his hair. So here's what I want to remind you again. I'm telling you, get over this concept that you don't have a perfect head to shave. Doesn't matter. Accept the fact that it sends a greater message when you shave it off anyway. And again, and the exception would be if you've got some kind of scar or situation on your head that people notice even with hair. That's different. Most of you do not fall in that category. Most of you are just being a little bit self-conscious because you think that you won't look as good as I do with a buzz cut or a shaved head, and you're basing it off of me. What about Vin Diesel? it's funny because when he first started, coming out making movies back when I was in college, and I'd hear girls talk about what a good-looking guy he is, I looked at him and I'm like, that's what a good-looking guy it looks like? I mean, well, by standard Hollywood, tradition, no. But by the new age that we live in, if that's what girls are looking at, I would even argue that he even doesn't have the perfect head or features for it. But it's the fact that he's so bold to do it, and of course that he works out. Obviously, working out is a big part of this. So, especially if you're young, it matters that much more that you work out. And I interviewed my wife in a video, and she said the exact same thing. Hey, I can get away with it. I'm married, 2 kids, 36. I don't have to work out. I'm a vegan, that's enough. But, if you're like 21 and like truly balding, and you shave it off, even if you don't have the perfect head for it, which again is more of a perception thing that you might have, just do it anyway and work out. You're good to go. And I think you're going to find a lot of confidence in that. And ultimately, by doing so, you're going to gauge the reaction from society that I'm telling you about anyway. Most likely what they're going to say is, man, you can really pull that off. That looks good, man. Nice. Now, you're going to have some people of older generations, like your grandmother. What'd you do? Why'd you shave off all of your hair? Don't listen to them. Why do you care what your grandma thinks? If you're going to care what anybody thinks, think about people your own age, because those are the people you're going to be growing up with in society. And man, you can send a message right now. I'm the guy at age 21, 25, 28, whatever it is. I don't even care about that. I'm so confident in my life, I don't need it. And that's why I can't wait to buzz off my hair in maybe a month or so, whenever my television special airs and I can get this over with.